The last point I want to quickly mention about modesty as one of the most common answers that brothers had given in the response.
That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, I would say modesty, for the sisters who are listening, like, what does that mean? What do you mean by modesty? I would say generally a guy's probably not looking for a girl who wears skin tight clothing, who wears low cut shirts. Now, the brother, we have to understand like what modesty means to us in our minds and how we see that, right?
And then after a few months of marrying her, every time you take her to the masjid, she's always now commenting to you about how these other guys are so hot. She's like, oh my God, he's really hot. It's a state inside and it's a state on the outside. A lot of times, and when I heard modesty, sadly, the first thing I thought, not to, is that I'm like, why would most men say that? They're either worried about the variety of women they've encountered somehow, whether it's online or porn or whatever, right? To ask for something like that, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not against it. Of course, we want a woman who's respectable and modest and doesn't wear things that makes you uncomfortable with her, right? Or, for Allah to really accept that. You can't be a guy who watches porn or looks at all those women with skanky clothes on Instagram, but, the day I get married, my wife, I just don't want her to be like this woman. Well, I'll still be looking at probably when I'm married at some point because I'm bored, right? And that's what I was always doing before.